develop some bad habits. Do you have an example of that?
I mean, I say like just simple things, just maybe if the quarterback is not down, picking them up, run into the ball every single play, not just half the plays, not just most of the time, every single play, post snap. Once you can engage your man and do your job, get to the ball. You know what I'm saying? Because we run a fast-paced offense. So we need to understand how to move quickly and transition through things. Those things like that, simple things.
Is that player-led? I mean, do you guys
It's player
are you
led, 100%.
policing that?
100%. It's on leadership. That falls back on me. Coach Allen highlighted it many times in many meetings, focusing on leadership and how habits are made through us, and the changes in those things are starting with us. So I'm taking me, Kadik, Khalil, we're all taking this big role in making sure that we're changing the things that we're doing, and making it for the better.
What's an example of holding somebody accountable who doesn't run to the ball or doesn't do those little things that you need to have done?
So when you get to the sideline, you're gonna hear it first off. Like you're gonna hear it while you're on the field, run to the ball, and then when you get to the sideline, we're gonna readdress it. But it's gonna be more so along the lines of, okay, you got about 10 push-ups, you got something that physically reminds you, okay, we need to get to the ball. This is our job. This is the assignment. We're not meeting that assignment, so we're gonna have to call you up to the challenge. You know what I'm saying? To the standard, because this is flat across the board. It's a standard. At minimum, this is what we're gonna do. At minimum, we're gonna run the ball after every play. And if you don't do that, then we're gonna call you up to the standard every time. That's how it happens. So it's between me and them. Like on the field, it'll be either Khalil, me, or Carp, or Kadik, or Coach Bostad. And most likely Coach Bostad will come in afterwards and be like, you know what I'm saying? Because he lets us take a really big role in that leadership. You know what I'm saying? Being player-led and being the correctors in the situation.
Setting the standard and clearing it, a lot like Matt Mayberry's talk with you guys. How much did that have an impact on your leadership skills?
100%. I mean, you those guys really focused on, you talking about the program, right? Yeah, those guys really focused on the mission and completing it. If you didn't commit, and there's no gray area, you either completed the mission or you didn't. And the mission is a standard for us. Like what is, it's, can we be on time? Can we handle the little things like you stress so often? And as leaders, that's what we need to do, is just keep consistently over and over again placing that on ourselves to remind people and hone in on those standards of, okay, this is how we do things. We got a lot of young guys, we got a lot of new guys, you know what I'm saying? And me being one of the older guys here that's been here, you know what I'm saying, that's on me to help make sure that they are understanding their environment, understanding the standard of how things are done here on the high level. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of any young guys, anybody stick out to you? Anyone you like, got a connection with recently?
I like Austin. Austin, our new offensive tackle, freshman. I like his technique and I like the way he works. He has a really good base that Coach Bostad is definitely going to be able to grow on over the next couple of years. I'm excited about him.
Have you settled in on the right side? Is that where you're primarily working, or did I get checked out?
Yeah, as of right now, yeah, that's where I'm at.
And have you talked? I don't know if you were asked, but your timeline for coming back, and you weren't full go in spring. When did you get kind of the full go in terms of coming back?
Immediately after spring, like going into the summer, that was conversations. Okay, we've done the curve, we've done the run testing, curve testing, jump testing, all these things. The knee is at 90%, you know what I'm saying, at that time. So we're ready to roll, you know what I'm saying, get to running at high speeds, get to putting heavy loads in this thing to get ready for this time.
Was that a weight lifted when you get the full clearance? Like, are you nervous? Like, what's it like?
I mean, I put my faith in God, man, and with everything, with everything. So I came in there praying, you know, and I did my things, you know, to warm up and put myself in the best position to be successful in the weight room, and then I do it every morning. You know, and I say this about my ACL is it definitely helped me hone in on my habits and putting myself in a position to be successful every day, the day before. You know what I'm saying? And the preparation of things over and over again. And when I first got back in, I mean, yeah, I was a little skittish, but I mean, I was very confident because of the preparation I did with my trainers and the things I did on my own.
So it's a bunch of stress tests essentially that they do the final thing, and so you kind of go through it. Was it on the practice field or with the trainers? What's that like?
So sprint testing, those things were on the field during spring. Toward the end of spring ball, that's when I did my final sprint testing, and strength testing was in the training room. A lot of just getting numbers, getting data to see what percentages each leg. Like this leg is 100%, so we did this leg to match it up. You know what I'm saying? So
Last one.
Mentally, is it there? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
because I say physically you're good, but like, is it to say like,
Yeah.
was you already there before that, or does it take a minute to say like, it's safe, I'm good? What
I
is
feel
it
like I've taken over this summer and quite honestly during spring, that's what I focus on, is trusting it. That Jacob and our training staff does a really good job of emphasizing trusting after something like this, trusting the ligament, trusting the leg, in the strength development, in the running, if he sees, okay, you're leaning on this side, then let's go ahead and focus on honing in on that knee. Let's look like we're normal while we're working. You get what I'm saying? No, leaning or trying to emphasize something else.
Last one to Mike here.
Matt, I remember in the Illinois game, what stood out to me is like after halftime, you stayed in full pads, helmet on. Like you probably had some idea what had happened, but what was your mentality at that point? Why did you kind of, not just kind of take out everything off?
I mean, it's your leadership. I mean, your brothers need you, period. I mean, I know I physically can't go, but emotionally, physically, I'm still here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm still able to lift guys up. I'm still able to push guys forward. Focus on the guys that are having a tough time and help them through that. That I said the guys that came for the program and came to our team the last few, they focus on when you're going through adversity, man, you need to focus on the people around you, not on yourself.
Okay.
Now, don't be selfish, And then in those moments, like in the game, I knew I tried to pass it, couldn't move it, it was slipping, but I had freshmen coming in, and then Parker needed to get in and play, and those guys needed help. So I was going to be there.
Great. Thanks, Matt.